France welcomes the world for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. In this edition, heroic Team Kenya is pushing boundaries as well.
An Olympic gold medal.
Most significantly, Kenya is intent on claiming victory at the quadrennial sporting event comprising of 45 sports that will be staged from 24th of July through to the 11th of August. Here comes a dose for everyone.
Yes, it is!
For the athlete, it is chasing a dream of a lifetime. And for the fan, witness history in the making, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
And on this day, in a move to reconstitute the cabinet, of course, secretaries have been named. That is the nominees, 11 of them by President William Ruto. And that's a story that we will be talking about in detail later on. Remember, all that and much more sports business right here on KBC Channel 1. My name is Shiksha Arora, and this is Easy Friday. We apologize for that. I am Shiksha Arora. Of course, this is Easy Friday, and I'll be telling you the top stories tonight. As I mentioned earlier on, 11 cabinet secretary nominees have been appointed. That is by President William Ruto, and that is in his latest move to reorganize and reconstitute his government. So we'll be giving you that particular story in just a moment. Remember, the hashtag is Easy Friday. For now, though, let's take a look at that story.
His entire cabinet in response to demands made by the protesting youth.
Are we ready?
President William Ruto has announced the first batch of his reconstituted cabinet, a mashup of 6 former members of his previous cabinet and 5 newcomers.
Ministry of Interior and National Administration, Professor Kithure Kindiki. Ministry of Health, Dr. Deborah Mulongo Baraza. Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, Alice Wahome. Ministry of Education, Julius Migosi Ogamba. Ministry of Defense, Aden Bare Duale.
The president confirming that the reconstitution as announced and the pending batch was as a result of wide consultations and the aspiration to form a broad-based cabinet.
I gave the nation my undertaking to reflect at length on these issues that have been brought into sharp focus by the people of Kenya. I also promised to consult widely on the way forward, and I also promised to craft a broad-based government that would harness the enormous potential in our country to turbocharge our economic transformation and to provide for inclusive growth.
Ruto has called on the country to leverage on the crisis that has lasted a month to forge forward and pursue national transformation.
It cannot be denied that our nation has been in a crisis caused by multiple and complex factors. Neither can we turn away from recognizing that the opportunity before us is greater than the crisis. Together, we have a chance to take our country where we all want it to be.
Following the dismissal of the cabinet, the 6 nominees making a comeback to vetting and approval by the National Assembly.
The need to enhance, broaden, and deepen the national economic turnaround plan set out in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda to incorporate a wider range of ideas, programs, and interventions that will facilitate job creation, robust debt management, enhanced transparency and accountability in the use of public resources, and enhance domestic resource mobilization and optimize public expenditure.
He is expected to issue a clear roadmap on the assignments for each cabinet secretary with precise deliverables and timelines. John Jacob Curia, Easy Friday.
Right now, still on that, the naming of the first batch of nominees for the post of cabinet secretaries by President William Ruto has seen 6 of the 22 dismissed cabinet secretaries make a comeback. Among the 6 nominated to continue in cabinet, 4 of them have been nominated to the dockets that they previously held, namely Professor Kithure Kindiki, Aden Duale, Rosalinda Soipan-Tuya and Alice Wahome. Our reporter Opicho Chemtai now examines the faces that are poised to return to cabinet if they receive the nod from the National Assembly.
Approximately a week Ruto sent packing his entire cabinet with the exception of his deputy and prime cabinet secretary. The president on Friday announced a list of 11 nominees to the cabinet. Of the 11 nominees, 6 of those nominated served in the disbanded cabinet.
I have started the process of forming a new broad-based cabinet to assist in driving the urgently needed and irreversible transformation of our country.
Among those nominated and retained in their previous post are Professor Kithure Kindiki, Interior and National Administration, Aden Duale in Defense, Alice Wahome in Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, and Rosalinda Soipan-Tuya in Environment, Climate Change and Forestry. Also retained but nominated to a new ministry is Davis Chirchir, who is proposed to serve in the Ministry of Roads and Transport, previously held by Kipchumba Murkomen, whose fate is in limbo. Chirchir previously served as a CS for Energy. Rebecca Miano, who previously served as a CS for Investment, Trade and Industry, has been retained in cabinet to serve as Attorney General, taking over from Justin Muturi. The president pledged to issue a second list of nominees for the remaining dockets amid calls for a leaner government. It is now a game of wait and see if the remaining 11 slots will all be filled, and if so, will some of those make it to the second list. Opicho Chemtai for Easy Friday.
Now, 5 new faces have made it onto the first batch of 11 cabinet secretaries nominated Friday by President William Ruto. The 5 include Dr. Deborah Mulongo, Baraza of the Health Ministry, Julius Migos Ogamba, Ministry of Education, Margaret Nyambura Ndungu, nominee in the Ministry of Information, Communication and the Digital Economy. Dr. Andrew Muhia Karanja, Cabinet Secretary nominee in the Ministry of Agriculture, and Eric Murithi Muga, Water Cabinet Secretary nominee. Take a look.
President William Ruto on Friday nominated his first batch of 11 cabinet secretaries a week after he fired the entire previous cabinet. The new entrants are Dr. Deborah Mulongo Barasa, who will take over from Susan Nakhumicha in the Ministry of Health. Dr. Deborah has over 15 years of field experience as a senior medical officer, with progression to an internal medicine physician and technical advisor, having worked in health institutions, both national, community-based organizations. Julius Ogamba replaces Ezekiel Machogu in the Ministry of Education. Ogamba possesses a postgraduate diploma in law and a Bachelor of Laws from the University of Nairobi. Dr. Andrew Karanja is the new Cabinet Secretary nominee in the Ministry of Agriculture. Karanja has over 36 years' experience in the public sector, both locally and internationally, in the fields of development economics, rural development and finance, agriculture and livestock development, and project formulation, management and evaluation. Eric Murithi will lead the Ministry of Water. The 32-year-old civil engineer and a water resource enthusiast has over 8 years' experience in operations and management of engineering projects, water hydraulic modeling, design of water and wastewater networks, and water structures. Dr. Margaret Ndungu Nyambura replaces the docket previously held by Eliud Owalo in the Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy. She is a renowned expert in internet governance. President William Ruto said he will issue next week a clear offer on the assignment that the new cabinet is going to have.
Moving on, Rebecca Miano is set to make history as the first woman Attorney General in Kenya, should her nomination be ratified by the National Assembly. Miano, who was appointed by President William Ruto for the position, takes over from Justin Muturi. Miano holds a Bachelor of Laws degree, a diploma in law, and postgraduate studies in comparative law, and was the immediate former Investment, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary before the entire cabinet was dismissed by President William Ruto.
Rebecca Miano is known by many as an expert in the energy industry, having served as the first female managing director and CEO of the Kenya Electricity Generating Company before making a debut in the cabinet in 2022. Miano is set to make history yet again, having been nominated by President William Ruto to hold the position of the Attorney General. Miano holds a Bachelor of Laws degree from the University of Nairobi, a diploma in law, and postgraduate studies in comparative law. Miano practiced as an advocate of the High Court before joining the corporate world. She's also a member of the Law Society of Kenya. Miano was first appointed as the Cabinet Secretary for East Africa Community, the Arid and Semi-Arid Lands, and Regional Development, and later moved to the Trade Docket, following a cabinet reshuffle by President Ruto in October. Previously, before joining the cabinet, Miano had served as KenGen Managing Director after being elevated from the Corporation Secretary, a position she had held for 9 years. Should her appointment be approved, Miano will take over from where Justin Muturi left, a position that has been held by the likes of Charles Njonjo, James Karugu, Joseph Kamere, Matthew Guy Muli, Amos Wako, Professor Githu Muigai and Justice Kihara Kariuki. Nancy Okware, Easy Friday.
Right now, Kenyans have expressed diverse opinions following President William Ruto's recent appointment of the first batch of 11 cabinet secretaries. Now, those in support of the appointments say the move will bring in new and fresh ideas to President Ruto's cabinet, which is crucial in achieving his transformative agenda. And those opposed to it say that the reappointment of cabinet secretaries who served in his previous cabinet will erode public confidence in the government's ability to address the grievances that have brought the wave of anti-government protests. John Kahiro now reports.
6 days after the dissolution of cabinet by President William Ruto, the head of state on Friday named a list of new cabinet secretaries, which comprised 6 ministers who served in the previous cabinet and 5 other new faces. The decision, which comes in the wake of his dissolution of the entire cabinet following a series of anti-government protests, has sparked a wave of mixed reactions across the country. Supporters of the president's move argue the appointments bring fresh and renewed energy to the government.
I want to take this opportunity to thank God for this second opportunity to serve the country, and then secondly thank the President, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. President William Ruto, for finding it fit to give me a second chance.
Zara wengine katika serikali huwezi badilisha watu, na wakati aliwachagua ni watu very competent. Tumeona Kindiki amejaribu, ingaje kazi sio rahisi, lakini amejaribu kunini sehemu zingine. Tumeona vile DCI inafanya kazi, hizi inafanya kazi na mambo kama hayo.
Ukiwa Meru hapa, sisi tunakushika mkono, tunakuunga mkono, uendelee kufanya kazi kwa karibu na ndugu yetu Professor Kithure Kende.
However, a section of Kenyans have poked holes in the reappointment of some previous cabinet members, which they say undermines the rationale behind the initial dissolution.
Kama angekuwa anatumia mawazo ambayo iko very free, hangerudisha more than 3 people kwa ile cabinet ya zamani.
At least Kithure Kindiki is right on his position. So nitasema for me as I feel too, just raise your advisors.
Unaweza fagia nyumba tena unarudisha uchafu ndani ya nyumba. Kenya tuko 50 million na tuko na very many capability watu wamesoma hapa ndani ya Kenya.
They say the president should reconsider the appointment and ensure adequate representation of all citizens.
We still support the young people. Because they had an outcry and they had a point when they said that we want the president to bring new faces, because I know the young people have no problem with the president, but they have a problem with the people who are surrounding him.
Kenyans drawn from different online platforms have also expressed their views on the appointment, with the majority expressing dissatisfaction, noting that a complete overhaul was necessary to restore public confidence and address the grievances that led to the protest. The coming months remain crucial in assessing whether the appointed leaders will meet the high expectations from Kenyans. John Kahiro, Channel 1 News from the Central Business District in Nairobi.
All right, and with that, the Kenya government has officially written to the US-based Ford Foundation demanding answers on how close to 900 million shillings donations to 16 non-governmental organizations have been utilized in Kenya. Through Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Korir Sing'oei, the government wants Ford Foundation to provide full details of grantees, approved programs, budgets and disbursements over the past year, accusing some beneficiaries of the grants of engaging in incitement, hate speech and mobilization using disinformation.
Niulize watu wa Ford Foundation watuambie hiyo pesa wanatoa ifanye fujo ndio wapate faida gani?
Days after President William Ruto accused the Ford Foundation of sponsoring anti-government protests in the country, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has officially written to the US-based organization demanding answers on allegations that some of its grantees are influencing ongoing demonstrations in Kenya. In a letter written by Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Korir Sing'oei, addressed to the foundation's president Darren Walker, the Kenyan government raises concerns about Ford Foundation's recent funding activities in the country. Between April 2023 and May 2024, the government states that a total of 16 non-state actors received close to 900 million shillings from the Ford Foundation, with approximately 194 million shillings over the last month alone. The Kenya government demanding that the Ford Foundation provide full details of grantees, approved programs, budgets and disbursements over the past year. It further accused some grantees of engaging in activities that contravene Kenyan laws, including incitement, hate speech, and mobilization using disinformation, potentially violating the Ford Foundation's non-lobbying policy. Some of the entities identified as beneficiaries include Africa Uncensored Limited, which received $250,000, the Kenya Human Rights Commission receiving $600,000, Transparency International getting $300,000, with Africa Center for Open Governance being paid $200,000. The biggest beneficiary, according to the tabulations by the government, was Shining Hope for Communities, which was paid $2,050,000. Ben Chumba, Easy Friday.
Now, the Anglican Church of Kenya is asking the government to come up with an elaborate implementation matrix of the demands made by youthful protesters. Addressing the media in Nairobi Friday, the Kenyan ACK Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit asked the president to speed up the formation of a credible independent elections and boundaries commission, among other demands. The clergy is further urging the youth to refrain from violent protests in the clamor for good governance.
As Kenyans await action from the government in addressing protests that have rocked the country for a month, Anglican Church of Kenya bishops are demanding a clear roadmap on how the government intends to forestall further demonstrations.
In view of these measures, the government must come up in the next 1 week with an implementation matrix of these demands and make it available for public scrutiny and monitoring.
They say the president must resist the urge to appoint individuals of questionable character into the cabinet and the new IEBC.
Going forward, let the president heed the voice of Kenyans and appoint both the commissioners and the cabinet men and women of high integrity and competence. Let merit be and proven track record be the criteria for these appointments.
While lauding Gen Z demonstrators for stepping forth to demand for good governance, the bishops have asked them to allow the president more time to address their demands. Their sentiments were echoed by the Public Benefits Organization, which has backed calls for national dialogue to deal with issues raised by protesting youth.
Of course, you know very well an eye for an eye will make the world blind. We have seen before that when people fight, the results are always something that is not good for the nation. So we are for peace, we are for a peaceful dialogue, we are for constructive dialogue.
Meanwhile, members of the Communist Party of Kenya have vowed to continue pushing for action to be taken against police officers who allegedly brutalized demonstrators.
Tunakasirishwa sana na mambo ambayo yanaendelea kwamba hakuna polisi hata mmoja amechukuliwa hatua, na ilhali hawa watu wote inajulikana waliuliwa na polisi. Mpaka wanapiga wanahabari risasi, wanapiga madaktari risasi.
Even the opposition leaders are under extreme threat because they have been planning for an emergence of leaders, a new crop of leaders, mainly from their families and their associates.
Joseph Wahungu for Easy Friday.
All right, and with that, it's time for us to take a short commercial break, but we will be back with Scales of Justice, as well as My Culture, and lots of other stories. Make sure you don't go too far.
Kwa star 570 hash tunakupa nafasi ya kuchomoka na this brand new Mazda Demio.
Enjoy a beautiful clean semi-leather interior, low mileage, touchscreen and a reverse cam, fuel-efficient 1300cc engine, great for personal use and business.
Ukitaka kujishindia gari hili, kucheza ni rahisi sana. Chukua simu yako, bonyeza star 570 hash, chagua option number 4, kisha unajiunga na draw. Kumbuka kucheza mara kadhaa because the more you play, the higher chances of wewe kuwa mshindi.
Gari ya pili ni yako.
ni yako.
Hii Julai, jishindie Demio na Loto Moto. Tucheze, tusaidie na tushinde.
Jua msaada wangu, msaada wangu, msaada wangu, msaada wangu. Wewe ni Mungu, hauna mshindani.
Who are the Gen Zs?
Ni rende ya 12 years paka around 26 years.
Okay.
So ani wase wenye sahi either ako high school, ako kampo, ama tu ndo ameanza job.
How did they come into existence? What is their thinking? What is their ideology?
Essence ya work from 8 to 5, yet naweza maliza hiyo job by 12. Ni gani? Unajua, so unajiuliza hiyo swali.
Okay. So you say you are not lazy.
No. Gen Zs are not lazy. That's the thing. And hapo ndo misconception big iko.
What are they looking forward to achieve?
If we are able to bring up platforms that are conversational, there's a lot that can change in every sector.
Okay.
Be it church, be it schools, be it corporate, be it government.
Jackie, ni nini unapenda kushughulika na issue za watu?
Na kama unanishinda mimi kwa nyumba yako for 1 week, uniambie nitaenda, nitafute mahali pa kukaa ama nikaje kwa street, sawa?
Since you're a good person, Jackie, acha kusikia mambo ya watu.
Sasa mimi na wewe anachokoza mwingine.
Ningeambia be wangu atafute nyumba pahali mbali.
Yule bwana nyinyi nitabe.
Si ndio, huyo ni wangu.
Nani amealika huyo hapa kwangu?
Si ndio huyo hapa, simuulize.
Sasa mkamwenza my co-wife.
Mimi hapa sitaki vita. Simuanze kukaa kama watu wazima. Sipendi baby yake. Acha tunipigie picha.
Why don't you like my vibe?
Your visit here is not welcome. This girl is beautiful, bana. Udema na kafiti. That's my wife, Alex.
Nitulie nini? Wewe unaenda kiambia watu nilijibia.
Hapana, sio hivyo.
Leta duu zangu.
Welcome back. Now, the Kenya Media Sector Working Group has faulted the state for what it terms as undermining press freedom as enshrined in the Constitution. Led by the Kenya Editors Guild President Zubeda Kome, the group warned the trend was clawing back on gains made, urging stakeholders to guard the freedom and the state to allow journalism to thrive. And as Timothy Kipnusu now reports, the media fraternity wants the government to take punitive action against officers who attack journalists during the anti-government protests.
And the fact that an organization like the KBC...
The Kenya Media Sector Working Group on Friday converged in Nairobi to reflect on the emerging issues in the sector with the aim of strengthening the pillars of democracy and upholding the press freedom. It is here that the Communication Authority CA was faulted for allegedly trying to suppress the freedom of the press by threatening to shut media houses, airing the anti-government protests live.
We are aware that Communication Authority has reached out to media houses, especially the broadcast media, warning them that if they continue with the live coverage, then they'll be shut down.
Kenya Union of Journalists Secretary General Eric Odwor regretted to see the old law being used to silence the media.
We will only take seriously decisions and directives that will come from the Media Council of Kenya, because that is what the law recognizes and not CA.
Kenya Editors Guild President Zubeida Kome, on the other hand, wondered why the government has not taken stern action against officers accused of attacking media personnel during the anti-government protests.
Juma lijalo, namna ambavyo tulitangaza na kuafikiana, tarehe 24 kutakuwa na maandamanaji kote nchini, kwa sababu tumeona kwamba ndo lugha wanaelewa. Hatufai kukabiliwa sisi kama wanahabari kwa mtutu wa bunduki.
She pledged to continue pushing for the voices of the media not to be suppressed.
Sasa mbona wanaonekana kwamba wanatishika, wana wasiwasi, wana uoga, ndio sababu wanataka kutunyamazisha, ilhali sisi tunafanya kazi yetu. Tumeona vyombo vya habari vikilengwa, sio tu wanahabari peke yake.
At the same time, she revealed that a section of media houses are currently cash-strapped, urging government to settle pending bills of up to 1.5 billion shillings that it owes media houses.
Tunadai haki. Mbona mnakataa kulipa pesa ambazo mnadai vyombo vya habari?
During the forum, cases of a section of journalists being denied access to parliament buildings was discussed.
The Parliamentary Service Commission gave an undertaking and a guarantee that journalists are not barred from accessing Parliament. They are covering committees as we speak, but one reporter, a member of Kenya Parliamentary Journalists Association, has been denied access.
The forum was also aimed at highlighting the media reforms in Kenya since the promulgation of the Constitution.
One of the key policy recommendations that we make is that we need to develop a media policy, a national content and media policy that basically anchors the Constitution's recognition of freedom of press, freedom of association, and all those associated freedoms.
Even as the journalists are planned to take part in the nationwide protest next week to fight for the freedom of the press under the slogan, "We are not criminals." It is a wait-and-see situation how the relevant authorities will respond to the clarion call of the media fraternity, who feel their work is under attack. Timothy Kipnoso for Easy Friday, Nairobi.
Meanwhile, an international charitable non-governmental organization has honored over 20 Kenyans for their exemplary humanity work to change the socio-economic well-being of this nation. Among individuals recognized include the National Heroes Council Chief Executive Officer Charles Wambia and Narok County First Lady Dr. Agnes Ntutu for impacting positive change in the country.
Presiding over the awards, the Special Envoy for the United States-based I Change Nations organization, Dr. Ruben West, said those honored had demonstrated their commitment to impacting positive change among communities in Kenya.
Individuals who are doing great things, and these individuals were nominated for the work that they're doing. So they were brought to our attention by some individuals that say, hey, take a look at this work. We vetted them with our team.
Dr. West says the recognition is a form of motivation to help beneficiaries amplify the good work they do among communities and also give them a pedestal to showcase their leadership abilities in the world.
Even though it may not seem like anyone's looking, you're being watched and you're being recognized. So we're going to take the time to come recognize these individuals for now, but we'll certainly be back. We'll certainly have other individuals that we'll award.
Among those honored include the National Heroes Council Chief Executive Officer Charles Wambia and Narok County First Lady Dr. Agnes Ntutu for their roles in the society.
Do good because you are being watched without you knowing that you are being watched, and you are always going to be credited for that. But we appreciate on my side being given this honor. I thank the heroes of this country because they're the people who have worked with me tirelessly, and we have reached where we have reached to get this honor through whatever they are doing and the achievement and the honors they have received. It has now reached to a point even myself I'm being honored today.
I'm up to the task because I believe myself and I believe the work that I'm doing, and it has been seen all over. Though, to me, those small things, I never knew that somebody is watching me and somebody is saying that I'm changing a life to somebody.
The two pledging to continue to work together to create a brighter and more inclusive future for all.
Of course, it was a surprise, but it's a highly happy moment. That's a very challenging because this is an honor, but I think it's going to motivate me further from whatever we have put in our strategic plan.
I'm ready going forward because this has even motivated me more to do much in my community and in the world around me.
The I Change Nations organization is a non-profit institution that has a presence in over 155 countries.
Now, Deputy Commissioner of Prisons and 5 other officers have denied 68 counts of graft-related charges in a 302 million shilling saga at the State Department of Correctional Services. The 6, including a cleaner, who were ordered to pay a 7 million shilling bond each to secure the release, are accused of various counts, among them conferring a benefit for goods and services they never rendered, costing the taxpayer a loss of a whopping 302 million shillings. Our court reporter Ruth Wamboy now has the details of the court case in the Scales of Justice segment.
Appearing before Principal Magistrate Selesa Okore, the six, namely Mageto Omari Sara Kemunto, Moses Juma Jack Nyariango Eric Mutai, and Maureen Ndungwa were charged with 68 count of graft-related offences. Through their lawyers led by Kira Wandugi, the suspects denied the charges even as they pleaded for leniency.
I therefore wish Your Honor to be provided with documents in the manner allowed by the court, that is, in hard copies.
This is an afterthought. And as we said, is an endeavor to parade the accused persons as exhibits of the war against corruption.
The defense lawyers argued their clients were being unfairly used as an example in the wake of pressure to fight graft. The court ordered the accused persons to deposit their travel documents in court to secure their release as they deposit a bond of 7 million shillings.
For cash bail of Kenya shillings 4 million, each of the accused persons are ordered to deposit their passports or travel documents in court during the pendency of this matter.
Pre-trial is set for 2nd August 2024. The court also issued summons for those who failed to appear in court and to do so on Monday next week to take play. Elsewhere, Milimani's Chief Magistrate Court has found former Laikipei's MP Anthony Kimaru has a case to answer in 4 of the 5 charges against him in a land case. Chief Magistrate Bernard Ochoi ruled Kimaru will have to defend himself on charges of stealing a title deed of Nanyuki Township, uttering a false document to get an agreement of land sale, obtaining land registration by false pretense, and conspiring to defraud. The defense hearing is set for 1st of August. And a Kidhimani court has acquitted veteran journalist Francis Kilango, who was charged with inciting boda operators to attack an assistant chief while covering a story 7 years ago. Senior Principal Magistrate Benson Sikuku found the prosecution's evidence against Kilango lacking merit.
I have suffered for over 8 years since I was arrested, because every month I've been here. I've used a lot of money to pay for my transport, to pay for my lawyer. I'm very happy today. My family is very happy. In fact, everybody was so scared that I would be jailed.
Finally, a Malindi court has adjourned to September 24th, 2024, the murder case facing controversial preacher Paul Ndenge Mackenzie and 30 others. The decision was arrived at after the defense failed to file submissions on the prosecution's application to oppose bond in time. Justice Mugure Thande has directed the defense to file their submissions by August 1st, 2024. Ruth Wamboi for Easy Friday.
All right, and with that, it's time for us to get into matters business. There's a lot that's been happening when it comes to the world of business. And of course, Betty, the expert, is going to give us all the details. Betty, what's the latest?
The latest is that there's a transport strike looming over the road maintenance levy, but the details of that are coming up in a little bit. My name is Betty Kiptum. Let's get into the business news of the day. We start with Kenya Airways, which has restored its online booking system after an 8-hour disruption attributed to mass global IT outage. However, KQ warns that some customers may experience minor disruption as the system stabilizes. The national carrier was among the global companies affected by the IT outages attributed to Microsoft PC operating systems that hit airlines, media and banks. Take a look.
The widespread technology outage disrupted flights, banks, media outlets and companies around the world. The cause of the outage is still unclear, but many of those affected have linked it to Microsoft PC operating systems. John Taylor, Microsoft spokesperson, said the company is working to restore the outage. He attributed the disruption that affected Windows devices to an update from a third-party software platform. Microsoft further posted on X that the company is working on rerouting the impacted traffic to alternate systems to alleviate impact in a more expedient fashion, and that they were observing a positive trend in service availability. Kenya Airways was among the service firms affected, with the national carrier's booking system affected. However, services were restored later in the afternoon, with the national carrier warning customers that they may experience some disruptions as the system stabilizes. Operations and trading at the Nairobi Securities Exchange was not affected by the outage. A few Kenyan banks encountered disruption in the morning, but according to the Kenya Bankers Association chairperson John Gashora, banking services were restored and are running seamlessly. In Australia, flights were grounded, supermarkets experienced checkout chaos, and broadcast networks were left scrambling on air as autocue, graphics and computers failed. Wairi Mujenga for Easy Friday.
And you may be forced to walk to work next week if a 7-day strike notice issued by players in the transport industry comes to pass. Transport service providers are urging the government to rescind its decision to effect the road maintenance levy, which has gone up by 7 shillings. Motorists Association of Kenya, Peter Murima, that's a member there, says the disbandment of the Energy Petroleum Regulatory Authority, among others, other structural reforms will usher transparency and accountability in the sector.
In its recent announcement, the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority increased the levy by 7 shillings despite opposition from the public and stakeholders of the new tax. And barely a week since the review, players in the transport industry want the levy rescinded.
We, the undersigned, reject the illegal increase of the road maintenance levy.
They argue, under the new dispensation, Kenyans are being denied the right to enjoy the current dip in global oil prices.
When the world prices go up, it is passed on us without any reprieve. So why should they introduce taxes through the back door?
Motorists say the review is untenable for business.
And now that is costing us every day 7 shillings on top of our fuel costs. If you multiply that with the daily consumption that we do of 20 million liters of diesel and petrol, you find that every day we are paying illegal cess or illegal levy of Kenya shillings 140 million.
In pursuit to have the road maintenance levy dropped, stakeholders will be seeking legal redress, disbandment of the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, restructuring of the National Transport and Safety Authority, and the Kenya Roads Board, among others.
We give the government 7 days to rescind the increase of phase industrial action.
According to the Ministry of Transport, the road maintenance levy is expected to rake in an additional 32 billion shillings to allow the government repair and build new roads. Regina Manyara reporting for Easy Friday.
There is need for tourism industry players to register with professional organizations to enable the country have a proper inventory, which is key in facilitating the labor. Tourism Professionals Association chairperson, Professor Ray Mutinda, says registration is also key in determining the professional development and mentorship programs.
This is a home that is for all of us. They want to invite us from the public sector, from the industry, the academia, and even those who are working in the non-profit making organizations, that we come together and shape this industry together.
We are aware that government has a very good plan to export labor as a way of addressing labor issues in the country. But our concern as an industry is probably we are not having proper inventory to be able to know how many professionals of what quality and what cadre are in what particular bracket, so that we don't export everything, and yet we're looking at growing numbers back home.
You know, our industry is highly dynamic. We
we are adversely affected by technological advances and other advances, and it's therefore important for us to continue appraising our members on such developments.
Countrywide livestock vaccination campaign has been rolled out against peste des petits ruminants, which is a contagious fatal viral disease affecting small ruminants. The disease is characterized by fever, pneumonia, diarrhea, and inflammation of the respiratory and digestive tracts. Livestock Principal Secretary Jonathan Mweke says the virus can infect up to 90% of an animal herd, kills up to 70% of infected animals.
Peste des petits ruminants, PPR, is a livestock killer disease caused by a morbillivirus closely related to rinderpest virus and affects goats, sheep, and some wild relatives of domesticated small ruminants, as well as camels. The World Organization for Animal Health says the disease, which has high economic impact in Africa, is characterized by lack of appetite, diarrhea, nasal discharge, and death within 10 days of infection. As a prevention measure, the government has rolled out a countrywide vaccination, as Livestock Principal Secretary Jonathan Mweke explains.
We will vaccinate 22 million cattle, we will vaccinate 50 million goats and sheep, kuhakikisha mifugo yetu yote afya iko hali ya juu. Leo kama Wizara ya Kilimo kupitia partners wetu tumeleta 700,000 vaccines. Hao watakuja tukiavoid kitu ambayo inaitwa nini? Inbreeding. Maneno ya kujua kwako naambiwa hii ng'ombe yako ni ama hii mbuzi yako ni mzuri, inaweza toka bei. Na mtu anakiangalia hivi anaona nikikupatia 10,000 nitaenda kutengeneza 25, wachana naye. Ushikane na mwenzako, ushikane na yule mwingine to form cooperative.
Transmission mainly occurs through close direct contact with infected animals or their feces. The World Organization for Animal Health says the disease kills between 30 to 70% of infected animals. The disease, which was first detected in Ivory Coast in 1942, has spread to more than 70 countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. Frederick Mwoki for Easy Friday.
And that is the business news tonight. Sports news is coming up with Karen Kibet. My name is Betty Kiptum. Good night.
Are you looking for a brand-growing outdoor advertising with beautiful simplicity and an artistically inspired choice? Look no further. Our 40 years of credible reputation and experience will give you exceptional brand traction. City Clock offers you their timeless units that will keep you in time, travel with you with time, and grow and shine with you on time. We offer advertising media throughout East Africa and are at your service 24/7. You can call us on 0722-520-004 or 0733-520-004 or email us at info@thecityclock.com. We are located at Corner Plaza, 4th floor on Parklands Road. Take Talk. Get your brand on the talk with City Clock.
Join me on a journey as we unlock the secrets of a healthier and vibrant you. We'll also share real-life stories of courage and resilience. Plus, we provide practical health tips for living a healthy lifestyle, no matter what challenges you may face.
Welcome back to KBC Prime. Sorry.
Easy Friday. My name is Karen Kibet. Let's now take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. The National Rugby Sevens head coach Kevin Bling Wambua says they are targeting to get past the group stages when they begin their Pool B Olympic Games matches. Kenya is set to kick off their 2024 Olympic Games against Argentina on 24th of July before facing off Australia and Samoa in the group phase.
Kenya is set to kick off their 2024 Olympic Games against Argentina on July 24th. Shiksha will kick off their 2024 Olympic Games against Argentina on July 24th before facing Australia and Samoa in the group phase. Wambua acknowledged that there is pressure for the team to go one better at this year's Games after finishing in 11th and 9th places respectively at the 2016 and 2020 Olympic Games. With the nearly three-quarters of the squad making their debut at the Olympics, Wambua remained optimistic that the team will deliver in Paris.
The progress has been steady. First time in Olympics 11th, second time 9th. Now the pressure is upon us, third time lucky. For us, again, we just follow our process. Right now, we're only thinking about Argentina. The other games, we'll think about it when the time is right to think about those games. So we don't really want to give a lot of pressure on them. We'll continue following our process and approaching every game like a final.
At the Paris Games, Kenya is being represented by a total of 72 athletes across 6 disciplines. Kenya will be represented in volleyball, athletics, fencing, judo and swimming. Kenyan representatives are seeking to replicate or surpass the achievement reached at the previous editions of the Games in Tokyo, where Kenya won a total of 10 medals, which included 4 gold, 4 silver and 2 bronze medals.
The team is elated, they are energetic and they are looking forward to Paris. So I believe we are ready for this competition. The weather has been good to us. It has been a bit extreme on the hot side.
The Olympic Games are scheduled to kick off on July 26th through to August 11th in Paris, and Kenya Broadcasting Corporation will broadcast the events live. Bernard Okumu, Prime Edition Sports.
Thank you, Bernard, for that detailed report. Moving on, Paralympian Samuel Muchai, guided by Jean Kipchumba, will be eyeing a historic 5th appearance at the 2024 Paralympic Games after being named in this year's team alongside John Lokedi, Priska Jepkemoi, and 2 other debutants. The Paralympic Games are scheduled from the 28th of August to the 8th of September this year in Paris, France.
Muchai was named in the final Kenyan team that was released today after excelling in the national trials held in Eldoret for the remaining 3 slots. He last appeared in the Paralympic Games in 2016 in Rio, where he won the 5,000 meters T11 race, and he also won gold during the London 2012 Paralympic Games in the T11 1500 meters race after collecting silver in Beijing in 2008. Muchai will be joined by John Lokedi and Priska Jepkemoi, who are also on the high performance list, apart from their outstanding performance in the recent trials where they won the 5,000 meters T13 and 1500 meters T11 categories respectively. The team of 8 athletes also includes debutants Samson Ojuka, who will feature in the long jump T37, and Sheila Wanyonyi, who will compete in the javelin F12 category after both earned direct slots from the International Paralympic Committee, IPC. Nancy Chelangat, guided by Geoffrey Rotich, had already qualified for this year's Games and will be going for gold after winning bronze in Tokyo in T11 1500 meters race, while para powerlifter Helen Wawera will be out to replicate her Commonwealth performance in Birmingham 2 years ago, where she won bronze. Kenya will be represented by 14 para-athletes in 5 disciplines, namely athletics, cycling, taekwondo, powerlifting and rowing during this year's Paralympic Games in Paris, France.
NBA Africa, in conjunction with French Development Agency, have today unveiled 2 refurbished outdoor basketball courts at the Kenya Academy of Sports in Nairobi.
The facility will help grow the sport as well as tap and grow banding basketball talents in the country. Sports Principal Secretary Engineer Peter Tum has reiterated the government's efforts to tap, nurture and develop talents in the country. Tum noted that the launch of the basketball court was one of the government's initiatives to develop sports at grassroots levels.
Basketball team, thank you. You've done quite well.
When we look at this court, courtesy of what the effort you've been able to put here, we can all do nothing but imagine how these young people will benefit from this venture.
The initiative partners NBA Africa and French Development Agency AFD are looking forward to replicating the success of the program, which has been introduced in other African countries, including Morocco and Nigeria.
Natumai ya kwamba vijana wetu wataweza kuimarisha ujuzi wao wa mpira wa vikapu. Tuzidi kufanya kazi pamoja, tuzidi kuimarisha maadili ya usawa katika michezo.
We've also sent their Kenya Broadcasting Corporation among the other media houses just to go uncover for Kenyans that are not able to go to the Olympics. But for those that are able to go on their own, we have instructed National Olympic Committee to give you that is required in terms of accreditation and all that.
The refurbished courts are expected to benefit more upcoming basketball players in Nairobi.
Now, former world marathon champion Ruth Chepngetich headlines the Kenyan athletes who have been confirmed for this year's Chicago Marathon. Two other names to watch out for are Ethiopia's Situme Kebede and fellow Kenyan Joycelyn Jepkosgei.
Chepngetich will be joined by Joycelyn Jepkosgei, Irene Cheptai and Dorcas Tuyotek in the race scheduled for October 13th. Chepngetich returns to the Chicago Marathon 2 years after running a stunning 2 hours, 14 minutes and 18 seconds in the US city. That time put Ruth second on the all-time list before both Tigist Asefa and Sifan Hassan went quicker in 2023. She will also be hoping to make a hat-trick of wins in Chicago after being on top of the podium in 2021 and 2022. Chepngetich was selected for the Kenyan marathon team at the Paris Olympics. She did take part in the Tokyo Games but didn't finish the race.
Track record! 1 hour, 4 minutes. That is a full 1 minute and 30 seconds faster.
Now, with only 7 days remaining until the commencement of the Olympic Games, the sports... Sorry, Mr. Director tells me that we do have another video that we have to run. Let's take that first before we continue with the bulletin.
Good evening to you. Welcome to Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha Arora, and it's about that time. How did that happen? Do everything and do it well. आप कैसे हो?
हम ठीक है, फर्स्ट क्लास है, लेकिन आज तो बहुत ठंडी लगता है।
शुक्रिया, अलविदा।
शुक्रिया।
Knee, hip, way. Been doing a splendid job right here at KBC.
Gota, tena, strictly makwela, no other gender.
6, 7, 8. Turn. Hip. Shiksha Arora signing out. Bye. That was beautiful. Oh, thanks, guys. Oh, I'm gonna miss you.
We sure will.
Better we should be dancing.
Oh, yeah, we should. Where's the music?
Goodbye to our dancing TV anchor.
Fashion, yeah.
She's Shiksha Faction.
She's the only one who's made me dance in this studio, by the way. The only person. Oh.
3 good years. Honestly, it's been such a good run. I couldn't have asked for like a better station. Yeah. My makeup artist, Ambia, she's been the one behind the face. Betty has been doing the sports. We've got Karen. Sorry, guys. The cake is making me hungry. But yes, Betty has been doing business. Karen with sports. And of course, I've been doing news with John Cargo, who couldn't make it today. But either way, I'm so thankful to the entire team. There's Maxwell right there. We have Hemstone somewhere, Amos, Mugo, Willie, Tim, I don't know if I'm forgetting someone, I'm sorry. We've got Zippy the producer, Mr. Minor, He's one of the best bosses. It's been phenomenal here. I couldn't have asked for a better station to grow and to dance. Didn't think I would be dancing on air, but here we are. And yeah, I hope to do this for the next few years as well. Thank you, KBC, for giving me a home. Thank you to the entire camera studio. We've got Faye, Joy, Masharia somewhere here. Cole Jack's in the house, you know, Mark as well. And of course, my guests, my entire crew has come to support me, which we'll be talking to later on. So thank you so much for being a part of my journey. And thank you, the audience, for always just encouraging me, supporting me. And yeah, Shiksha Arora, signing out.
Oh, Shiksha, it has been a pleasure serving with you.
Thank you.
As I said, you're the only person who's made me dance in this studio, so I appreciate that. But you're a very diligent person.
Thank you.
And so kind. We will really miss you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't make me cry more. Ambia's leaving. My makeup needs to look good. I still have 40 minutes to go.
So, Shiksha, we will dearly miss you.
Yeah,
the fun.
Yes. I hope the next person makes you dance.
Who?
So.
Or you make them dance.
You know, I can't do that. It's just who you are. We love your aura. We love who you are, what you're all about.
Thank you.
Make working with you so easy and fun. And we will miss you. From the entire newsroom, all the reporters, all the anchors who weren't able to be here, they wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Majority have wished you all the best in the group. I know they would have loved to be here, but of course, they wouldn't be here. We wish you all the best in your next chapter.
Thank you.
Continue shining. We know this is not the end, and we can't wait for you to tell us what your next
Yes,
step is.
100%. You'll get to know. You'll get the DM, and you'll see it on social media.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Team KBC. You'll truly be missed. This has been so special for me. And I don't cry. I'm not a crier, but I'm crying today.
Today you did.
Ambia, fix my concealer. And yes, let's keep it up. Keep doing the good work, ladies. Keep shining, and just let's keep growing, KBC.
Perfect. Enjoy your cake.
Thank you.
And you want to sign out?
Yeah. Susan,
your last
sign language interpreter. My name is Shiksha Arora. We'll do this again.
Shortly?
Shortly. I was going to say some other time. Well, I don't know. It's not going to happen here at KBC, but we'll definitely do this, you know, in another place. Doesn't have to be KBC. But yes, KBC is love. KBC is home. And KBC still continues for the next half an hour. I've got my hot seat quite full tonight with my friends, 3 beautiful ladies that are super talented, powerful, and, you know, they are what womanhood stands for. And we'll be talking to them in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Shiksha Arora signing out.
Let's have some cake.
Yay!
Kwa star 570 hash tunakupa nafasi ya kuchomoka na this brand new Mazda Demio.
Enjoy a beautiful, clean, semi-leather interior, low mileage, touchscreen and a reverse cam, fuel-efficient 1300cc engine, great for personal use and business.
Ukitaka kujishindia gari hili, kucheza ni rahisi sana. Chukua simu yako, bonyeza star 570 hash, chagua option number 4, kisha unajiunga na draw. Kumbuka kucheza mara kadhaa, because the more you play, the higher chances of wewe kuwa mshindi.
Gari ya pili ni yako. Ni yako.
Hii Julai, jishindie Demio na Loto Moto. Tucheze, tusaidie na tushinde.
Mimi nimeshindwa nifanye nini? Niko peke yangu. Nimeshindwa na maisha. Nimeshindwa nifanye nini? Sasa tusaidieni mimi kama mnaweza.
Napitia changamoto nyingi ya mawazo. Hadi kutengwa na marafiki. Sasa hadi huwa nashindwa. Mbona niyapitia haya?
Kaya musha. It is always a good time on Bridge over Congo.
Catch us every Saturday from 10 p.m. till midnight.
Join me, the Rumba Supreme Leader and the Grand Ayatollah Simeon Mfumo Kimbango and
Winnie Marie Jose, Bridge over Congo.
Mungu esilakano nzungute kasielenge Mungu esilakano.
Chumvi huyeyuka chunguni lakini ladha yake hubakia.
With the best in the business, it's DJ Koljax. The hottest in the game.
If you have been a desire, this year might be your year. See, I wanted to inspire you to do what you aspire. Your desire. Somebody gonna marry this year. Make the money happen this year. Maybe there is something about this year. This year must be better than last year. It's your year. You know this is your year. It's your year. Yeah. And this is in my year. Somebody get in my year. And this is in my year. My year, my year. It's in my year.
Ain't nothing average. Up the way you wind your way. And you say you must clean up the place. Girl, I say them good, but some of them not good yet. It's a real bad girl, me have to get. Wind up your waist for me hot girl. Ain't no fun without a bad girl. Chop it down low, go down, go down, down. Shake your money, make a girl touch the gun. Girl, you a real party animal. The way you whine is phenomenal. Shake the money, make a girl touch the gun. Chop it down low, go down, go down. Na na na, working the na na na. Working the na na na. Hope you are ready, cause I'm ready to wind your waist and give you all the stamina. Working the na na na. Working the na na na. Working it, baby, cause I'm ready to be your manager. Wind up your waist for me hot girl. Ain't no fun without a bad girl. Chop it down low, go down, go down, down. Shake your money, make a girl touch the gun. Girl, you a real bossy animal. The way you wind it's phenomenal.
Nitaenda aliie so namtaka chop chop nataka mpenzi chop chop anipe mapenzi chop chop kwani niko lonely sidhani kama nitaenda aliie so namtaka
look on the white temptation a weakness a boss. When you back it down, go for the tongue and give a me simba na basoka bo. Come and choco a choli no bukola jaga no muwala jaga le chop chop. Nataka mpenzi chop chop, anipe mapenzi chop chop.
Kwani niko lonely sidhani kama nitaenda hali ile. So namtaka chop chop. Nataka mpenzi chop chop, anipe mapenzi chop chop.
everywhere I go. Yanzie buru Hamza inako, hasta na saka mkwanja sina do. Inabaki tu ni smoke ya dash na ina blow. Choking my core, feeling the thrill deep down in my core. Keep it real, don't know why figures keep on knocking my door. Oh, Drew wanna miss now, them chana hardcore. These streets we banded, give them another get under. Skim zip under, give them another get under. These streets we banded, give them another get under. Skim zip under, give them another get under. Skim zip under.
Cold Jazz.
Mr. 808.
Mimi na masela tuna celebrate. Sape kwa kibeti ni kama ni benki. Olunga kubosi bako ni Messi. Na mimi sitakifonga shangwe ileti. Oya, wecha cheza kaa wewe, siwitishe upewe. Itisha mzinga si umimine ulewe. Na kama unadai oya itakaa bana. Don't drink and drive. Usikam sana leo ni birthday after birthday. Akitaka mate apakatwe. Marinate after mpaka kwake. Na kama yeni daste mini jipate. Bomba sisi tufike, tusifike mapema ndio tusipige. Sidhani katalala sitisho ni jide, juu nikipita na koma kunanga replay. Hey, bomba sisi tufike. Yeah, me
because the blessings follow my yard. Blessings follow my yard. That's why I go all. I don't wanna reason bad things no more. I don't wanna go back to where I did before. Make nobody stress me, not disturb me, cha. I stick my alcohol. I don't wanna reason bad things no more. I don't wanna go back to where I did before. Make nobody stress me, not disturb me, cha.
Scatter, hey, can't see them catch fire, hey, boys see them start to my money la to do back out, hey, back out. I want me to do that. Money la to do back out, baby.
ka pendulum isijeonekana kwa mama kanisa binonyokesa eti unasababisha nisitulie oh mtoto wa pasita hitting up my capacitor he be looking at me I be looking at him Holy Ghost fire mtoto wa pasita hitting up my capacitor he be looking at me I be looking at him.
You're watching KBC Channel 1. I am Shiksha Arora. This is Easy Friday, and on my hot seat, well, hot seats tonight, I have 3 of them because these 3 are phenomenal women. I am so happy I get to call them my friends. You know, they embody womanhood and power. That's what I like to say when I see these 3 women next to me. Whenever we hang out, it's just pure energy and positive energy. So on my left, immediate left, we have Martina Glass. Martina, introduce yourself to the world.
Hi guys, I'm Martina here, Shiksha's best friend in the world. And yeah, content creator, dancer, mom, all of the above. And yeah, I'm happy to be here with you on your last day.
Then of course we have the one and only Cheeky Kuruka.
Come on.
I've never heard Martina's surname. I'm still there. We hang out. Yeah, my name is Cheeky Kuruka, otherwise known as Cheeky Alusa. What do I say? Boss?
Ish.
Boss babe.
Boss babe. Dancer. Dance fitness. And wife.
Yes.
And wife.
That's it, period. And then of course we have Just Ivy Africa. The one and only. Ivy, tell the world.
I'm not sure what camera I'm supposed to look at. Okay, good.
That one.
My name is Ivy, aka Just Ivy Africa, financial literacy champion, thinkfluencer, Miss Money Monday, mother. I like to say I work hard and I play equally hard. Very happy to be here.
Yes, or even harder. Come on.
And Ivy's my best friend because Martina got to say.
Don't be jealous.
Yeah,
let's take
Don't
it.
be jealous.
We're all friends. We're all a big family.
friends.
Shiksha and friends today. Right, so ladies, you know, the one thing that I wanted this last show to be positive, and I want you people to inspire people. And when I look at the 3 of you, you truly have inspired so many people in your own ways. You know, from Martina, the fact that she moved countries, has come to a different country, and then she's inspiring a whole generation of dancers, choreographers, performers, in a country where she didn't even know the language. And now she's become a sensation and everyone knows her. So that, for me, was so inspiring. Cheeky, of course, similar. Again, moved from another country, moved here, and then became... you know, this beautiful dance fitness champion that we all know, her moves. What are they called? Soca.
Soca.
If you've never done a dance class with Cheeky, you don't know what dance is, honestly, dance fitness. Because up until that day, I didn't know what sweating was. And then I went for a class and I was like, oh, so this is sweating? 31 years later, this is what sweating really is. Now I know. So everything that she does, from managing a studio, you know, being a manager, to one of the country's biggest artists, of course, just being a brand on your own. There's so many different things that she's done. Again, inspiring, super inspiring. And then of course we have
How'd you come after Cheeky? God damn it.
Ivy.
With you.
Right? Ivy started off in, I think, agency, if I'm not wrong, and then moved on to like YouTube and started doing vlogging. And then I remember there was one time Ivy actually auditioned for a show on TV, right? And that's where I met her and I heard her voice and I was like, power. Okay, and that's what I see. When I look at Ivy, I see power. She calls herself the thinkfluencer because there was a time when not many of us were thinking about money matters. And then Ivy came in and she just changed the game. And influencers also started thinking about money matters and how we need to manage our money. We need to always budget things and we need to look at the bigger picture and not just the present. Which, by the way, the younger generation always does, right? When it comes to spending, when it comes to like not investing. And that's what I see when I look at you. So you've really just changed the game when it comes to financing and just things to do with financing, money, and money matters. So again, inspiring. Of course, also being a mom of 2. Yeah, it's a whole lot.
Twins.
But anyways, twins.
Twins has high impact.
Yeah, being a mom of twins. Let's just leave that there. Enough said. So yeah, you 3 are women who I feel just inspire Kenyans, not just Kenyans, Africans. And just around the world, it's nice to know that women can lead their lives. as well as having their personal lives, as well as having kids and families, but also like just be independent boss babes. So how does it feel being such powerful women? I'll start off with you, Martina. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. How is it gonna feel? It feels very nice. And I think to be a boss babe and an independent woman, you have to surround yourself with other boss babes, and you know,
like-minded women.
Like-minded women, yeah, women that are gonna push you, that are gonna be your support network, and I'm so lucky to have all of you guys. Yeah, I love you.
Chiki, 10 years back, did you ever think that this is where Chiki Kuruka is going to be? This is where your brand is going to be? Did you ever imagine that in your wildest dreams?
No, but I think that's kind of, I don't really know. I've never set out to inspire. I've never set out to do anything like that. And I think we get into tricky territory when we give too much of a pedestal to people, right? I am just a human. I mess up. I do good things.
Right.
I just wake up every day and I just try my best.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I would say that I would have done that 10 years ago, and I hope I'm going to be doing that in 10 years.
Yes, of
what
course.
that looks like, I can't tell you. I'm just going to keep trying my best.
I love that. And keep working hard.
And keep working hard.
By the way, if you watch Chiki's Instagram stories, one night she's partying until like 3 a.m. at an event, of course. Not really partying, but working.
Working,
yeah. But then she makes it look so easy, like she's partying and having a ball. And the next morning at 6 a.m., she's burning 1,000 calories. It's all about balance. That's what we call it.
That's cheeky for you.
That's cheeky for you. And then, of course, we have just Ivy. Ivy, I remember when you did this poll one day, what was it that made you go viral? And I remember you earned like more than 20,000 or 30,000 followers overnight, and everyone was just talking about you. It was something to do with money matters. I can't really put my finger on what exactly it was, but maybe you can tell us.
Yeah, I remember asking people, you know, what do you do? What do you do and how much do you make?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's where it all started.
That's where it all started.
All the
basically.
money.
Simple.
Money matters.
Simple, because no one talks about salaries. Nobody.
Correct.
It's very hidden. Like, I don't know if your colleagues here know how much you make, you know?
Yeah, no.
And you're leaving, so yeah.
Oh my God, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I'm running home.
Yeah, so I discovered that people like to discuss taboo topics in a fun way, and especially money. So that's what literally built my career. It's an honor. Yeah.
And the way you navigated your brand.
Yeah.
Do you know, because the truth is that when something like that happens to people, to the best of us, it happens. It happens for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and that's it. That's the end of it. But really, they don't take it to the next level. And I feel like when you did that, that was mind-blowing how you did that. I feel like that's why when I look at you, I'm like, damn, she's smart. Ivy is a smart woman, right?
Smarts and luck.
Yeah? Did you
100%.
have a plan? Like when this happened for you overnight, the next day when you woke up, you're like, okay, what are we going to do next? Did you have a plan for tomorrow?
No, the plan was to, okay, people like this, I'll repeat it over and over and over and over. That's how now Money Monday really grew.
Right.
Yeah. And even after the first time when I grew by those 30,000 followers, I did it again, like literally like last year, and again the same effect happened. So I just learned, repeat your big winners. Keep doing the same thing over and over. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you see someone like something, repeat. And I'm sure Chiki does the same thing with managing BN, and you do the same thing with dance and content. If you see someone like something, why are you reinventing the wheel? Like, look at the most famous guy on TikTok. What does he do? The same thing over and over, and it's just this. It's just this.
You're right.
Repeat your big winners.
Yeah. Repeat again. Right. And ladies, you know, when it comes to multitasking, when it comes to like doing things and doing them well, and of course, obviously, apart from, as I said, having your independent lives, you also have your careers and you also have your personal lives. And then, of course, sometimes when you're in the public eye, it's just difficult because you're expected to behave a certain way, you're expected to act a certain way when you're in public. People are looking at you, people are watching what you're wearing, what you're doing, who you're talking to, who you're interacting with. It's a lot, right? So how do you guys manage to navigate through this public eye image that we all have and that we all kind of struggle with sometimes, Martina?
To be honest, sometimes I kind of forget that I am indeed in the public eye and I just live my life normally, you know. And then
let me just cut you short. You know, it's funny because every time we go out with Martina and people come and say hi to her, and it's more than the last time, she comes to me and she's like, Shiksha, all these people know me. What's going on?
I'm telling you,
why do they know me?
It's always like a surprise to have more and more people like recognize you outside. And at times it kind of like makes you feel observed and like, damn, like I can't really do what I want, or like, you know. But to be honest, most of it is positive.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't feel like I'm being scrutinized or anything. Like, it feels like I'm being supported, like people rock with me. So, yeah, I don't think it affects me like in a bad way most of the times.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel the pressure to behave a certain way, to act a certain way?
Maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in public sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
But I would say I am me regardless. Like, I don't put up an act for anyone. And yeah, it's worked out so far, I think.
It's worked out great,
yeah.
and we're glad to hear that.
Yeah.
What about you, Chiki?
It's so funny. There was a whole, like, still now, when I'm in a club, there is never a point where someone doesn't come up to me and is like, yo, show me a move.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, all the time.
Like, dance with me. And I'm like, okay, I've been doing that all day. I'm just trying to vibe. Or can I dance? And it's a funny one because immediately it kind of, for me anyway, it changes it, because then you're very cognizant of the fact that someone has noticed you and is recognizing you, but then you're battling with the fact that this person has come with love, you know, they haven't come with any negative energy, they haven't come with any bad vibes. So it's trying to figure out how to best balance that. And I think the second time I really feel it is, I cannot speak to any male person without feeling some kind of glare on my...
every person you hung out is
It
your
doesn't matter if
boyfriend.
it's my dad, it doesn't matter if my cousin, if someone doesn't know who that person is, you know, I just feel a glare at the back of my head, and I feel the need to just then like change even my vibe to that person. You know, hey bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
Your
think
body language changes.
Your body language changes. So I think those are the two times that I really recognize. But like Martina, honestly, my experience here has been overwhelmingly positive, and we have such an interesting psychological condition, I think, where you can have 100 positive comments, either digitally or, you know, physically, and then that one negative comment can throw you off kilter. And what I've always really tried to do is keep myself in check and be like, bro, there are 99 comments. If you're focusing on the negative one, there have been 99 positive interactions. If you're focusing on the negative one, honestly, that says more about you than it does about that one 100%. So I just try and keep that balance.
I love that. And you know, it's interesting you mentioned that, because when I was in New York, I was with this weatherman who is extremely famous. Now, we're just doing our thing, and somebody comes to him, has the audacity to say, yo, weatherman, show me a move, dance for me, and puts the camera in his face. And I think he's just, I guess, he realized for a second he was taken aback, and he's just like, that's not all I do. We can say hi. And then he's like, but anyways, let me dance for you. Because that's what he is, that's his brand. So, you know, it's a bit of a dilemma where you're just like, where do I draw the line? You know, being nice and showing that this is my personality, this is who I am. But then again, I'm a human being, I have feelings, right? I'm not just a performer 24/7. Yeah. What about you, Ivy? How does it feel being in the public eye? And
do people ever come up to you? How do you make money? Give me some money.
In the bar.
How do I invest?
Like in the bar, how do I invest?
Where do I put my money today?
Yeah.
Here's 1,000 shillings, make it free.
Never. I wish they give me money. I wish you could give me money. I prepare to go out in public in two ways. I make sure I go out in a positive mood. Because there's once I went out and I was not feeling very good, and I didn't enjoy the experience I gave one of the members of my community. These are not fans, they're not followers, these are members of your community. I wouldn't be where I was without them. So I make sure I move out in a very positive way. And if I can't, or if I can help it, I go to private spaces where I know it's very unlikely that someone is going to come up and say something. But I love meeting my community. It's brilliant. And it always reminds you, because sometimes, you know, you might be sitting thinking, oh man, maybe I'm not it. Then you go out to the right place and meet the right people and you think, shit,
and
man.
They say something.
It's okay.
Shoot, man. I'm the shoot, you know? So, yeah, I prepare. I don't go out anyhow. Even like going to the supermarket, sometimes I realize, especially with my kids, I stop doing that. Because I don't feel good when I'm met out there and my babies are there. Because I'm a mom automatically, so and I don't want my people to meet me that way. So I prepare for this. It's a calling. My coach was telling me the other day, out of the 50 million people in Kenya, how many people are public figures? They're less than 1 million. So it's a vocation. So I treat it like the job that it is, and I prepare to meet my people out there. Yeah.
I like that. It's
Yeah.
very nice. Preparation is always important. I mean, I've never done that. I'm just
Me
sometimes
too.
be like, I'm going out tonight. Tonight we're outside.
Yeah.
You're outside.
Yeah.
I see you outside.
Shiksha is very much tonight we're out.
I mean, I'm looking at their outfits and I'm like, is there a plan that I've missed out on? That's the first thing she said. Right? It's like when you're out, you're out. Anyways, you know, I think the one thing that people forget sometimes is that behind this persona, behind this character, is a human being, as I said earlier on. And we have feelings, right? So when you get that one negative message, it really just throws you back sometimes, and it just makes you feel like, am I really it? You know, am I really this thing that people portray me to be, or people think that I am? And it takes you down a hole. And sometimes you're just filled with all these emotions and thoughts in your head. So it's happened to me a couple of times, and you know, I have been very vocal about it. I've spoken to a few of my friends, and I mean, you guys probably know of my struggles as well, and I've got therapy because it's important, right? And these are things that I think we need to talk about as public figures who have the power to influence people, and to tell them that, you know, therapy is okay, it's okay to reach out to other people. And mental health issues, I feel right now, are some of the biggest issues that we have, not just in Kenya, in the world. And people are really struggling. And when I say they're struggling, they are struggling. So what do you think, you know, I'll start off with you, Martina, needs to be done when it comes to mental health issues? And how do you think we need to kind of, I'm looking for the word.
That's good. Find it. Find the world, honey.
Oh, wait,
Find
we need
the
to find the
world.
world. And how exactly do you deal with mental health issues, especially as an individual, social media related, you know, being in the public eye, and then people are saying different things about you sometimes, it can get a lot. So what do you do to put yourself at ease and kind of get yourself out of this negative space?
Well, first of all, I can't recommend therapy enough. I have my weekly date with my therapist. Like, honestly, it's my most important date of the week. It's really helped me to process different feelings, being in the public eye, and just normal struggles that every person has.
Of course.
And then when it comes to social media, I block, I delete, I don't look at comments. Like, I've stopped looking at comments.
Really?
Yeah. I don't look at comments. Like,
wow.
I still read every comment.
Especially on TikTok, because I feel like on Instagram it doesn't happen as much. But on TikTok,
you're so big on TikTok.
Yeah.
You reach the masses.
Like, wow.
Yeah. And I feel like people on TikTok can be ruthless more than Instagram, in a way.
Unhinged.
Yeah.
Unhinged.
So I don't look at comments.
Okay.
Really, like,
just don't read them.
Yeah. Like, maybe you peek a little bit, but then it's like, I don't really need to know, you know, what all these people think of me. Like, I don't need to know what image you have of me, you know? Because at the end of the day, they see such a little part of you, like 10-second videos, like, so yeah, I will block quick, I will delete the comment, I will, you know, I don't stress myself. Like, you're not stressing me in my own phone, like with my internet that I pay for.
In my internet that I pay for.
With my Wi-Fi, no.
I love that.
Honestly.
I'm going to, next time, you can't stress me on my own phone.
This is my phone, my rules, my world.
I pay for this internet.
Like,
what about you, Chiki? I feel like you're somebody who is you have thick skin. I don't know if that's true. I feel like it is, right?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think for me, I know to me who matters, and I invest heavily in the people that really matter to me. And my wellness comes from the people who really matter to me. And I'm very lucky. I have a very supportive home. I have a very supportive family. I'm very picky and choosy with my friends. I have very supportive friends. And I think outside of that, like Martina, you're free to have whatever opinion, but you don't know me. So if you have an opinion based off of
what
1% or your bias, you know, the example I always give is this. When you walk into, let's say, a club and you're not feeling so hot, overwhelmingly, the person who's feeling the hottest is the person you're going to judge the cruelest. And it's not about them, that's about you. It's because you're not feeling so hot.
Wow, okay.
So I always try and rationalize it in my head that way, that if someone is really attacking me, Akiboye. Because me, I'm okay. You know, like it's
a them problem.
It's a them problem.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
me.
projection.
It's projection. If it's really aggressive, right? Like Martina, overwhelmingly, I do not read comments, and I really try and be a person that I said what I said, and I'm going to stand for what I said.
Standing on business.
And if you agree with it or disagree with it, it's okay. Okay. But I have to feel comfortable and confident in what I put out there.
I feel like Ivy, you and I are kind of similar because I also read every comment. I will be like, what is this person saying? And why have they said this? Right? I will like analyze and overanalyze and overthink. So I have come to terms with that and I'm aware of how I am. So now dealing with that is something that I've really just focused all my energy on, because at this point in time, if I start reading all the comments, I lose all my hair one by one. It'll all come out because of all the stress. It just gives you stress when you see 50 bad things being said about you. So Ivy, how do you deal with that?
Wow, I think I can't relate to Chiki. Really. Maybe I can relate more to Martina in terms of the blocking and things. However, social media gives me a lot of anxiety, especially after a cyberbullying stint. I can't touch my phone. I can't open messages because I'm scared of what I'll see.
Wow.
And it affects me also in my emails. I won't be able to open my email. I won't be able to pick up my phone. So I stand for those people who are not as self-aware and as strong. How I deal with it is I recently now just moved into coaching, though I mentioned. I moved into coaching. And my coach was very clear in saying, sometimes you'll find 1,000 bad comments, but you'll find, good comments, but you'll find that one bad that's completely, and I stick to the bad. I remember there's something my late dad said. The first time I was ever cyberbullied was because I put out a job ad. I wanted an assistant. I wanted to hire an assistant. And I was like, if you want more than 40,000 Kenya shillings, please don't apply. I became the most toxic boss on earth. It became a problem. And my dad said, here's the thing, Shiro, you have to see that sometimes you can find the constructive bit of criticism in what the crowd is saying.
Okay.
Ignore the complete, BS, and look at the flack and look at the positive thing that is coming out of this. So sometimes I'm very careful in analyzing, okay, what can I learn from this? You don't have to learn something all the time. But the moments I do learn something, I take that lesson and I effect it. I'm also very patient with my community. I've been told severally, Ivy, you're very, very patient. I'm not quick to go back and I'm like, okay, what can I take from this? However, I'm also very cognizant of the fact that it affects me. So sometimes I take breaks. I delegate. I have a team. Twitter, I don't touch my Twitter. I don't touch my Twitter. I have someone who handles my Twitter because I can't handle the stress and the pressure, and I'm not on earth to be stressed and pressured. So I handle it in a bit of a balance. Sometimes I'm like cheeky, I'm like, I know I said it, and then sometimes I'm like, you know what, it's okay.
Balance. Right. Ladies, I feel like there's a stereotype that we keep hearing time and time again from back in the day that women are each other's biggest enemies, right? We've heard this from the times our mothers were, in the industries or whatever they're doing as housewives or as business women, career women. And I feel like now the generation has completely changed because I feel like us four, we're kind of in the same industry and we thrive amongst each other. Well, I think I thrive amongst you. But honestly, I feel like, we're friends, we support each other, we root for each other, we are always collaborating, we're not competing. And even if we're competing, it's always very positively and constructively. It's never like to put each other down or to sabotage one another. So what are your thoughts about this? Things have changed from back in the day. Yes, there is, here and there you will encounter a woman who will look at you in a very, as a threat and will not want to be in the same space as you solely because she feels very insecure, right? And then of course you'll meet a group of women who always just want to empower you and just want to root for you and just want to be there for you and have your back. So what are your thoughts about this? Have you met such people who are a bit, cognizant of you or like a bit insecure of you and cautious with how they interact with you? And if yes, what are your thoughts? And of course, what do you think about this whole women empowerment agenda that we've been pushing for a while, which I think is working out great for us so far?
I think not really many.
Yeah?
I think not really many. There is a quote that I love that is like, everything I know about love, I learned from my female friendships.
Yeah.
And I cry saying that, but it's true. It's true. It's like, this is a love story with so much searching men, you know? Like, we take each other out, we cry with each other, we laugh with each other, we support each other, we are there,
Sisterhood.
Yeah, sisterhood is the most beautiful thing in life, honestly. I think like the most precious thing a woman has in her life is a group of girls.
Solid female friends.
Girlfriends,
100%.
you know. And luckily that has been my experience, the majority of cases, you know. Of course, we've been conditioned like in society to like feel insecure or
Around other women.
perceive other women as threats. I've been there myself sometimes, I won't lie. I'm sure other women have felt like that regarding me. But overwhelmingly, it hasn't been the case.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love to hear that.
I think I surround myself with such positive women, and yeah, I love that for me.
Yay! What about you, Chiki?
It's so weird. So that was never a narrative I was raised with.
I love that.
That's not a narrative that exists in the same way in London.
Okay.
So I really try and look at, first and foremost, who gives us our narratives and why do they exist? Because like Martina, honestly, overwhelmingly, that has not been my experience. My favorite working experience, my favorite life experiences have been with women. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, we were in Martina's house and we were doing each other's hair, and you know, there are certain things that you can only do with your girlfriends. So what I think normally it's indicative of is a society that hasn't yet got enough women at higher levels of the workplace. So if you look at the time that I left London, there was a lot more gender balance when it came to the workplace.
Right.
So there wasn't the same feeling like it's me or you. And I can understand that if you're in an environment where there are very minimal opportunities for women, naturally, a go-to reaction is going to be, yo, it's me or it's you.
Survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest. And I think it's about really trying to challenge that, really trying to change that, really trying to embrace other women in spaces. And like Martina, I'm not saying that's always easy.
Yeah.
I'm sure people have seen me as a threat before, and I've certainly seen other people as a threat before. I pray it's not because they're a woman. But I definitely think we're getting better because our employment opportunities are changing. In the last few months, Bien released a new single today, check it out, Wahala. And we've been pitching back to back to different business heads. And did you know overwhelmingly they're women? I think I've pitched to like one man, and I haven't looked for female CEOs, it just happens to be those are the spaces.
That's
so
amazing.
I think as times change, and you realize that your opportunities are broader, you change how you are to one another.
Okay. Yes, Ivy. Especially for someone like you, because you were part of a full-girl YouTube channel that just changed the narrative, right? You're one of the first, like, Over 25 was one of the first all-girl, I think, really successful YouTube channels in Kenya. And it just literally paved the way for so many other groups. How did that turn out for you, and how did that change the narrative for you?
In the context of women being each other's worst enemies?
Yes.
I think I've never looked at it as women being each other's worst enemies. I always look at people as people. So I don't see the gender.
Okay.
And when I would see a particular woman as my worst enemy is because I didn't see love in myself or success in myself. And then I was very entitled. So I would think, this woman, why would she treat me in an ill way, and she's a woman?
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I expecting her to treat me any other different way compared to a man? So I don't think I look at it as man, woman, or anything like that. I surround myself with loving mirrors, good reflections, and I think that's how everything goes. However, how other people treat you is something else. So you see, I can't meet you to the point of how you love yourself. I can only meet you to the point of how I love myself.
Okay.
And the moment I decenter validation from someone else in my life, I think that's how it works. So I've never looked at it that way. And then in content creation, we're very lucky because we're more women than men in this space. We're more women than men in this space. So I also can't say that that's something I can really relate to. Nowadays, I just seek out love.
Okay.
Yeah, I seek out love, I seek out aspiration. And I seek out way more successful women than me because they have no room for hate in their lives or anything like that.
I love that.
Can I add on to something that Ivy said, though? Because I do think it's important to be very careful with gender-based conversations because there are some statistics, there is some evidence that we can definitely talk to, but it is very it puts you into dangerous territory when you can have 5 pitches with men and those men were horrible, and you can have 1 pitch with a woman and she was also horrible, and it becomes a gender conversation. Like, why was that? Well, she should have been better than why? You didn't have that same feeling when you pitched to the 4 men, you know. So I think whilst it's very important to highlight you know, any imbalance, whilst it's very important to push for as much equality, and I mean genuine equality across the board as possible, I think it's also important to challenge ourselves in terms of what are we receiving? How much of it is in our minds? How much of it is our bias? How much of it is how we're feeling that day if we're not feeling too fresh? And then how much of it is true, and there's the problem that needs to be addressed, and that's important as well.
Right. I love everything that you've said. I'm just like, these women are woke. And on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up. My director is on my case, but before we do that, I'd just like the 3 of you to give your parting shot on the camera. Just say hello to the people who love you, support you, and have been, you know, supporting you on this journey that you're on. That's your camera.
Well, hi guys, to everyone that support me, thank you so much. I wouldn't be here where I am today without you guys. And yeah, I'm so grateful. I thank God every day for my community, for my friends, everyone who loves me. I love you back. Yeah, thank you so much.
What about you, Chiki? I'm giving my parting shot to Shiksha. I am so proud of you. I am so in awe of you. Girl, you had your moment. I am so proud of you. I am so in awe of you. The world is not yet ready for what you have to offer. I'm sure everyone watching is going to absolutely miss you. I'm fortunate that I get to see you all the time. But man, what you have done in terms of raising young Kenyan musicians, bringing them into these kinds of forums, bringing class, bringing conversation, challenging multiple different types of communities. I want that to be remembered. So I'm going to give my parting shot to you, Shik. But also, Wahala from BN is out.
What about you, Ivy?
Thanks. So we're just going to take her parting shot for Shiksha so that it doesn't look like we're copying, but thank you, Shiksha, for always having us here. Congratulations on your next chapter.
Thank you, guys.
I hope you make the money that you need to make.
Yes. Money matters.
That leads back to my parting shot. I've always been known for saying, if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So keep doing that, but my new mantra is sweat the small stuff. Sweat the small stuff. Make sure you pay attention to the stuff that's going to compound either well or poorly, and focus on the stuff that's going to compound well. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that I have a community. I have that these 3 ladies have decided to come. Well, I just asked once and they agreed, and I was just like, that was... And the gentleman as well, that's Salim, dance general, as we popularly know him. Thank you.
That's
Thank
from
you,
us.
Salim.
That's from us.
Thank you, ladies. You're going to make
we love
me
you.
cry.
Congratulations. Or
I'm
sad
trying,
times.
I'm like, where's the tear? Where is it?
It doesn't have to come. It's okay.
I leave it for later.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. For my audience here at KBC, you have been phenomenal. The support, the love that you've given me over these past 3 years. I feel like I've grown so much, and not grown by matters of money, but like just grown in the sense that my community has really my community has just really grown immensely, in the sense that the amount of people that know me, that I know now, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to have people out there who you don't even know. I feel like strangers can be the nicest people. When you don't know them, the nicest things that people say to you are usually come from strangers. And those are people who watch me. So asante sana, the love has been immense. You can still follow me on social media at Shiksha Arora, on TikTok, Instagram. You can find me there if you miss me. And yeah, this is me saying goodbye for real, over and out. 3 years later, it's a wrap. Cole Jax is going to be taking over with the best music as always. Mark right there. A big shout out to my director, Mark, who has been phenomenal these past 3 years. Honestly speaking, nothing would have been possible without him. My producer, Decca, who has been such a backbone to this particular show. And of course, every single one of you watching the studio, Masharia on the camera. You know, we've got the team here that has done such a great job. My bosses at KBC. We've got Chris entertaining us in studio. Thank you so much for that. And yes, I appreciate this opportunity. I don't take it for granted. And I hope that the person who comes in
also really just values this opportunity because it's a big one. So make the most of it. Shiksha, Arora signing out. Good night. Take care.
We love you, Shiksha.
It's over.
حبيبي يا نور العين يا ساكن خيالي عاشق بقالي سنين ولا غيرك في بالي حبيبي يا نور العين يا ساكن خيالي عاشق بقالي سنين ولا غيرك في بالي حبيبي 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 يا نور العين 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 يا ساكن خيالي أجمل عيون في الكون أنا شفتها الله عليك الله على سحرها أجمل عيون في الكون أنا شفتها الله عليك الله على سحرها عيونك معايا عيونك كفاية عيونك معايا عيونك كفاية تنور ليالي
There's something on your mind. There's something on your mind. Tell me. Girl, you've been acting kind of strange on me lately. Is there something on your mind? I seem to get that feeling every time I'm near you, that I'm running out of time. How can you walk away and leave me hanging? Just leave me hanging on. I know there's something going on that just can't hide it. Now tell me that I'm wrong. Girl, you can say what's on your mind. We can talk it over there. There's no need for you to hide what you feel inside your heart. Something on your mind. Just like
free.